story from a long time ago, how the promise of the Lord came true. When the children of Israel found the promised land, complete with milk and honey, and a view. To get to this place took quite a little time. Well, it took 40 years to be exact. But a leader like Joshua could get his people there, even though a map and compass he lacked. The day finally came, the next arrived, when the River Jordan was in view. Joshua and company were on the east side in a quandary as to what to do. You see, across the water, just down the road, with the promised land we know. But there was a little problem, a tiny obstacle, a city called Jericho. Well, I suppose it was more than a problem. It was really more of a minor hassle. Actually, it was a real headache. In fact, the city of Jericho was a major obstacle. It was so big. The walls were so high, you couldn't get over it. They were so low, you couldn't get under it. It was massive. It was beyond looking at. It was just absolutely fabulous. Why, the fortress was a classic example of a monumental edifice of a logistical impregnability.
I don't think that's what you've got written down there, actually. I think you just got a bit over the top, mate.
Well, it was a miracle, like gaps.
Gaps?
Yes, gaps.
Gaps?
Germany, Argentina, Portugal, Spain are all out of the World Cup. It's a miracle. Anyway. You get the picture. The human odds were not as Israel's side, but crossed the river to Jordan more or less. For Joshua knew, and his people did too, it was God with them, that they could win. So they reached dry land and got organized, but they saw what they saw, they felt glum. For they discovered when they reached the river Jordan, the city was locked up tighter than a drum. Excuse me! It was just a simple figure of speech. Tighter than a drum. A simile. An analogy.
Ooh, an analogy.
Oh dear. Well, where was I? Anyway, a plan was devised as to how the attack would be made. For 6 days they marched around the city with walls with the thousands. There was quite a parade. Where was I? Oh yes, the seventh day. The seventh day the Jericho would come to an end. The Israelites assembled with their thousands to fight. It was almost too much to comprehend. Imagine, if you will, the 7 prows in front with their trumpets all ready to blow. Then the Ark of the Covenant and thousands of men just waiting for Joshua to say, go! But this day's parade had a different twist, so that no one from the city would escape. The army had to march around 7 times, just hoped by now they'd be in shape.
7 times?
7 times. As the Israelites came around the 7th time, the fateful moment was finally in hand. Joshua called his thousands to halt and gave the crew to strike up the bell. with some practice. I think of me right now. Joshua. Where's the lights? Joshua commanded the trumpets to blow and the people to shout. Now by this time, some strange things are happening. The ground around the city began to shake. The citizens of Jericho were also pretty shook as the walls began to crumble and break. Now the rumble reached 10 on the Richter scale as those quakes and tremors hit the town. Even Joshua was amazed and his people were dazed when the walls came tumbling down. Well, as I said before, this saga is more than just a story from a long time ago. For it teaches that God keeps his promises. Anyone who reads his book will know. So don't ignore the thought or shove the lesson aside, for to do so for won't be a fool. Just remember it was God who had power enough to give Jericho some urban renewal. Oh, yeah.
Well done, the very Reverend Leslie J. Crowson. I feel like that bloke in Sound of Music. They've gone! They've gone! Oh no, here he is! It's unlike you not to want to take 12 curtain calls, Leslie. Well, we come to our last piece of music this evening. There's been a few mentions of Black Dyke. Well, this piece of music that we're going to finish with was written for the Black Dyke Band to play in the gala concert at the European Brass Band Championship a number of years ago by, again, somebody we've mentioned a number of times, Dr. Peter Graham. And we thought this evening, while most of us are wishing we're in Russia watching the World Cup, we bring a bit of Russia to here tonight. I've never liked those Russian dolls. I always think they're quite full of themselves. But we've got some music right from Russia here. We've got the Call of the Cossacks, and we start off with the Procession of the Tartars, and then we have Gypsy Dream, and then we have the Cossack Wedding. Call of the Cossacks by Peter Graham. Normally I have to tell Nigel the piece before to stand up, because by the time he has, he's normally in time with the rest of us. Come on, Nigel. If you've really enjoyed the band tonight, I'm the musical director, my name's Julian Bright. If you haven't enjoyed the band, my name's Andy Pickles. Thank you for being a really, really appreciative audience on what has been a very, very hot evening for us up here. And I'm very grateful for the band, for all the hard work and effort they put in. Particularly this evening, I'm going to say thank you to Simon, our bass trombone player. Simon went on holiday. Simon went on holiday yesterday to Herefordshire, and he's come back for this concert tonight from Herefordshire. Must have been a lousy holiday. Now, apparently he's just told his wife and mother-in-law that he's popped out for a pint of milk. He'd be back in a little while. So he should be back about midnight tonight. We really appreciate that extra effort, but appreciate all the efforts of the band. Make sure you check your raffle tickets on the way out. If you want to hear the band again, we're at a super event next Saturday, which is called Brass in the Park. It's part of the Oundle International Music Festival. It's at Barnwell Country Park, just by Oundle. There are 6 bands playing. We're on at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock there's a band on, but we'll be watching England in the quarter-final. And then we're on at 5 o'clock. It's a brilliant event. You can take picnics, there's burger vans, there's bouncy castles, all sorts of things there. It's a super venue. And if you like brass bands, go along and support that. I can hear some heckling, but I didn't hear what was said.
I said, will the trumpet player be there? Are you going?
It depends if you bring him back, madam. Yes, the trumpet player will be there. And all the other trumpet players as well. So, I'm sure you'd like a little encore, wouldn't you? Yeah. I'm really pleased you said that, because we'd only played the first 3 movements of that piece. It's got another 2 movements, which we'll play to you now as our encore. Thanks for being with us. Look forward to seeing you again soon.